The CRL Rights Commission appeals for calm following violent acts of looting and vandalism. The Commission condemns the violence that has claimed the lives in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal. The Commission also says communities need to resolve this peacefully. The Commission's Chairperson Professor David Mosoma joins me now to talk about some of even the rights that have been violated and what the role of cultural and religious organizations are during this time. Prof, thank you so much for your time. As the Commission, having observed what's been happening over the last couple of days, what rights have been violated?
First, thank you so much, Clement, and your viewers. If we define community as a set of group of people with powers, people who live in the same vicinity or village or environment, when something like this happens, you actually betray not only the trust but also the rights of other community members. You can see many communities are now scrambling for food, for something to live by, and those possibilities are now close to them. Now, that type of rights which are accorded to them by virtue of being members of the prescribed environment, it is actually violated. Because community implies togetherness, solidarity, and homeliness, where members have a sense of belonging and a sense of identity. And now it is this sense of solidarity which has been broken down. So we need to look at how best to knit that together so that these communities can then continue to live side by side. More importantly, we have also seen situations where conflicts actually emanated between communities, which also have a direct impact on our ability to create a united South Africa, diverse in its cultures, languages, and religions. And so we appeal to our cultural, religious and linguistic communities to observe values of friendship, of peacemaking, of humanity, of tolerance, because these are important values which can hold us together like a glue in our country. And it is important that these values are cherished and upheld. Secondly, it is important in our country that we should not destroy our hard-earned democracy, which is founded on the rule of law. And therefore, it is important that our interests should not violate the interest of others.
And I'm glad you've touched there on the role of religious organizations, the role of cultural organizations as well in rallying communities together. I want us to talk about how government has been responding. It's had a tough job of not only ensuring more attacks are averted, but helping bring the situation to normality. It must also make sure, in how it responds, that rights are not further violated. What do you make of how law enforcement agencies have responded so far? And what do they need to be cautious of as they try calm the situation through enforcement?
Before you get to that, Clement, what is important is the absence of leadership across the board. And that absence has been very much visible in this situation. When communities exist, it is not a question of having political leaders where you look up for leadership. Men and women of practical wisdom must emanate within communities and lead communities afront. Now that has been absent across the board. Maybe the issue has been that after democracy, people believed that government is the be-all and end-all, without looking into the elements of leadership at the community level. Secondly, when it comes to the response, and of course many people have indicated this, maybe it's a question of understanding how uprisings are organized and how uprising must be responded to. Maybe the absence of that historical background may have contributed to the fact that this will not happen in our country.